All right, hi guys, welcome back to another podcast. We're so happy to have you. You know, the usual persons are here. I'm one of your hosts, Didi, along with my other hosts, Keela and TJ. Say hi, guys.
Damn, I'm there.
Hi guys.
And we have our wonderful recurring guests, Liam and Marlon. Say hi, guys.
Good night.
Hello, everyone.
Okay, now that everyone has said hi, let's just get right into it, shall we? Today we're discussing Keela's topic. So it was her turn to pick, and she chose good environmental practices. So you guys know the routine. I'm going to start off, and then we're going to hand over to Keela, then TJ, then we go down the line. So everyone knows that we have to take care of our environment because, we live in it, we need it for food, and all sorts of other stuff. So my 3 environmental practices are: 1, please reuse, reduce, and recycle. Yes, we all learned about this when we're in prep school, primary school, from grade 1 days. Yes. So you reuse any material that you have that you don't necessarily throw away. For example, your plastic bottles. Plastic takes, I think, over 1,000 years to actually break down. So if you have plastic bottles which are in surplus in Jamaica, instead of throwing them away or throwing them on the roadside, you reuse them, put your water in them, put juice, use it to freeze things for your kids or for yourself, and just continue to keep the environment safe and clean. And you reduce the amount of plastics that you use as well, and any other material that is hard to break down in the environment. And you recycle. You use them over and over and over again. Great. And that leads me into my next point. Do not throw stuff on the roadside. Jamaicans have a really bad habit of throwing stuff that they eat and they use on the roadside, especially styrofoam boxes and cups and plastic bottles and cups. The roads are filled with them. The drains are clogged with them. It is like there is no garbage bin in Jamaica, you think, because people just use stuff and throw them on the side of the road. No, we're not gonna do that here. So we're here to influence you to actually find a garbage bin and throw them in there. And for your plastic bottles, reuse them. And then my 3rd and final good environmental practice tip. So we live in this little thing called the ozone layer. It is the layer that protects the earth from the detrimental effects of the sun. So in short words, so the sun not burn off of the planet. Great. So please do not burn fires and all of those stuff. We don't need that. It destroys the ozone layer and helps us to actually be more prone to UV rays from the sun, which is damaging to us, guys, to our eyes, to our skin, and all of that. I know nobody no one wake up one day and realize that them have all type of boils on them skin, and they cannot see, and all of that. So please do not burn anything. Throw them away in the garbage and wait for the nice garbage men of Jamaica, who are sometimes irregular, to come and collect your garbage. Great. Keela, you're up, hun.
Okay, guys. I have my 2 ways in which we can practice good environmental skills is respect the wildlife, like respect animals. Like animals make up such a huge part of our wildlife, and they're part of our environment as well. Okay, so we as humans, we don't like anybody coming into our personal space, and it's very easy for us to just say, yeah, we need a personal space. But for animals can talk, so they cannot say yes, we're invading their personal space, especially the animals that live in the wild. when us humans invade animals' habitat, they feel threatened and they feel like we are taking over and we're taking over their environment.
All right, so I'll pick up from there. Shakila having some technical difficulties there. All right, so it's at the time that we're in this stage, it is most important for us to have good environmental practices. I would just like to read a short excerpt from United Change on a report that they made on climate change. They said that climate change is a defining issue of our time, and we're at a defining moment. From shifting weather patterns that threaten food production to rising sea levels that increase the risk of catastrophic flooding, the impacts of climate change are global in scope and unprecedented in scale. So, really and truly, we are at a time that is unpredictable and we're at a defining moment in time. And at a time like this, it is most important for us to take care of our environment. And I think one key way in doing that is conserving water. Here in Jamaica, a lot of people are having regular water shortages. You see come on the news or wherever saying that the National Water Commission is going to have some water shortages in probably even some 16 communities and so on. And this is mostly because they're building roads in different areas of the island and so on, and it's affecting the water system. It's contaminating the water system as well. And then overall, although we talk and tell the different Caribbean countries and so on, countries across the world that we are the land of food and water, we are not really the land of water. Surprising. So it seems that we are surrounded by water. But it's important for us to conserve water. And ways that we can do this, is turn off the faucet when you're not brushing the teeth. Don't turn on the shower until you're ready to use it. Limit the water usages when you're washing the plates and so on. And try to store as much water as you can, because you never know when there could be a water outage, knowing the Jamaica that we live in right now. So, and even though we are in the pandemic now, we have to be sanitizing more. You still want to regulate the amount of time. So, just don't try to get your hands dirty as much, and just keep it clean, use wipes and so on and so on. So, try to conserve the water as much as you can. So store it, and when you store it, probably throw some cooking oil in it or bleach or whatever to keep away mosquitoes and so on. So it is most important for us to conserve the water. So Marlon.
Yes, thank you very much, Terrell. So for me, when it comes to preserving our environment, especially when it comes to our garbage, I believe that we should basically categorize them based on what are deemed as biodegradables and non-biodegradables. Biodegradables are like foods, just meat, well, parts of meat, uh, your waste from your carrots or your lettuce, etc. When you're peeling your foods, yes, so food peelings, etc. Those are biodegradables. They can be broken down as time goes by, right? Non-biodegradables, right? Okay, so that would be your paper, your plastic, your styrofoam, etc. As Bernie mentioned earlier. What I would do, what well, from my family, what we do is, and this is from like an agriculturalist perspective, right? What we do is we have this little pan like in our backyard or so forth, in our backyard, and we put our food peelings, so yam peeling, sweet potato, etc. We put it in there, and as time goes down, it breaks down, and then we use it to make compost, and we then apply it to our plants in the garden. Right, that's what you can use it for. For your meat parts, etc. You can put those aside, especially, right. And when your garbage men come, you hand that to them, right. They can use it for like what our garbage men do, right, is they use the fat to make food for the dogs at the dump, yes, or at the guard place for where they keep the trucks. So that's what we do. for our non-biodegradables, so our plastic, all of that, we put those aside. I know for a fact that the distillery company, Red Stripe, they have this promotion, right? Where if you put aside, if you put aside one of their bottles, right, you get $10 back on that. And they've been doing this for years. They've been doing this for years. I believe that this is one of the programs we need to facilitate the proper disposal of garbage, right? So that's what they do, and I strongly support that. I strongly support that. Another thing too is that yeah, for our plastics, we put those in the bin, styrofoam, etc. We put those in the bin. Then we put those whenever a garbage bin comes, they collect it from the outside garbage bin. But yes, properly group your garbage, your biodegradables, your non-biodegradables. Use your biodegradables to help with your gardening, because it really does add back fertility to the soil. So what you're helping to do is to prevent unnecessary things to be heaped up in our dumps, with in our landfills, which continue to cause land pollution and air pollution, and in some cases as well water pollution, right? We have to remember that it is our responsibility to care for our earth, because at the end of the day we are stewards of the earth. That's why we're here. Yeah, that's my take on the whole thing. Yeah.
All right, so it's my turn. Firstly, I want to encourage everyone, firstly, to practice carpooling. Carpooling reduces the amount of cars in or on our roads, which also reduces the amount of carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide being released into our atmosphere, destroying our ozone layer. I would also want to encourage persons to use any form of transportation that would help to cut down our CO2 concentration, like bicycles, right? A foot pedaled bicycle that helps. And the benefits to that, you get to exercise and you get to have a cool breeze as you continuously ride. Um, Also, I believe that with good environmental practices comes a clean home. So practice hygiene at your house, clean, ensure that you have water, you get rid of water as well, which would stop the growth of mosquitoes and prevent dengue and other mosquito-borne diseases. Um, Also, practice to promote good environmental practices. You may have good environmental practices, but then your friend doesn't. Try and convince your friend to also partake in the drive to having a healthier environment. So these are my tips on good environmental practices.
All right, so guys, just a quick recap. As I said, so it's important, to use reusable bags, recycle, use reusable beverage containers, print electricity, water, avoid, taking necessary car drives or rides, and so it's important that we all do this to play our part in keeping our environment clean and protecting us. We all know that global warming and those type of things, greenhouse gases won't stop. But by practicing good environmental things and so on, we can play our part in keeping ourselves protected and helping. So we are helping. We're not necessarily stopping, but we're helping. So when you're doing this, it's always important to put in the back of your mind that you're helping and you're helping significantly. So, Doreen, Liam, anything from before? Because Shakila, apologize,
Um,
guys.
I would just like to make a correction. It's not a distillery. Yeah, Red Stripe is a brewery in Jamaica. Just a quick correction.
Hey, man.
All right. My final words are, guys, just really and truly protect the environment. Like, I don't know if a lot of persons actually know how much we need it, because if this earth goes down, so do we. for all who did not have that realization, like I'm gonna box you in your face with it right now. If the earth goes down, so do we. So please take care of the environment, recycle. Please use all your stuff again, even use some water out of your kitchen when you wash the dishes. You don't necessarily have to let it keep flowing down the sink for all of us who like to waste water when they're washing the dishes. Collect it in a bucket or something and use it to water your plants, all of that. Please just keep the environment up to date. Great.
All right. So we have come to the end of this podcast. Once again, it was a great time. Want to big up, Marlon and Liam. As always, the best guests them ever do them thing. And my co-host Dwayne and Shakila. And Shakila is back, guys. So also want to big up and continue like, comment, subscribe, share. The thing, the vibe. So that's it. That's a wrap for today, guys.
Oh
So
man,
stay tuned.
I'm sorry, my Wi-Fi went out and I couldn't able to finish what I was saying, but my lovely co-host finished for me, and I just want to say thank you for that.
All right. So big up. Peace out, everybody. Stay tuned. See you next time.
Bye guys. Thank you for coming.
Have a restful night.
Strike force, yeah. Strike force, yeah. Strike force, yeah. Strike force, yeah.